abduction of secondary school boys in Kagara, Grafi local government area of Niger State has renewed the call for better synergy and organization of security architecture in Nigeria. At least one student has been killed and several others abducted during the attack on Government Science College, Kagara, sparking international condemnation. Some teachers and their families residing within the college staff quarters were also said to have been abducted by the gunmen. According to reports at the moment, the attackers stormed the school at about 2 a.m. on Wednesday, dressed in the same school uniforms used by the students. Disguising themselves, of course, as members of the school, but a rescue operation has been set by the government, and that rescue operation is on for now. The security expert, Captain Aliyu Umar, retired, joins us from Lagos downtown on the backs of this to discuss so many happenings. Umma Getso, the vice presidential aspirant under the Young Progressives Party, the YPP, during the 2019 general elections, also joins us from Abuja. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming. Let's look at the situation, Captain, and begin with you. It seems to suggest that your predictions is taking root, looking back at the Kankara abductions and now this in Kagara, Rafi local government area in Niger State. How is it that despite all efforts by the government to avert this kind of scenario, seen only recently 3 months ago in Kankara, happens again?
Thank you. Good morning, Gimba. I think Kankara is even far-flung. I reached the governor of Niger State, if I recall, some days after the Tunga Maji incident in Abuja. I think that was a few months ago. Somehow he was a bit full of himself and said he was on top of it. Tunga Maji was an indicator that something big is about to happen. When bandits go about from house to house, plundering foodstuff and other related supplies, and then they go away with a very large number of females, what it means is they are about to camp. From Tungamaje to Abuja, Tungamaje to Nasarawa, Tungamaje to Kogi. Tungamaje is actually on the fringes. So you should know that they will actually be looking to sit somewhere, probably plans they have the Federal Capital Territory. The problem with our politicians, particularly the governor of Niger State, who has some military background, he's an ex-boy. He went to military school. He was a sitting duck as far as this attack was concerned, and that is not a good one for we ex-boys. Okay? He has colleagues, classmates, peers who are generals that he can one-on-one with. He never did. He appeared on Arise yesterday and sold us dummies and stories and excuses. Nobody became governor at gunpoint. When you became governor, you were telling us the things you could do. Now you are telling us the things you can't do and why you can't do them. We don't want complaints and excuses, governor. We want a solutions, governor. That incident was avoidable. That incident was so very simple. My grandmother would have taken those children out of that school successfully, because the school itself was not a school. The school was just what you can call an uncompleted or abandoned, decrepit building. So are we serious? Do we have a serious governor in our town? He's probably taking cue from his forebearers who have ruled this country twice. We have 2 heads of states in that town, and go to Niger State and see what is there. That place looks like Afghanistan. So he's not doing badly as far as his forebearers are concerned. He's actually trying to probably beat their record. But how can you have
if I may just quickly step in now, if I may quickly step in, Boko Haram, this kind of style of abduction, we've seen it time and again. Boko Haram, they took responsibility. But this time around, they attacked bandits. Is that who truly they are? Can we identify this set of people who have committed this crime?
I must assure you one here that, you see, when someone does something, as human beings, we are social in nature. If I wear a good hairstyle today and I'm popular enough and I belong to a group they call, is it Somalians now or Zimbabweans? And people start wearing it. That doesn't mean all of them belong to my movement. Boko Haram has actually brought an idea, a style, and people will adopt it. Does not mean if some people abduct children in the creeks today of Lekki, then they are Boko Haram. They're not. The act itself and the persona are two different things. And once an idea is born, you cannot control its spread. Going to school to move children now is trendy. So anybody can do it. But then, what happened in Kagara some days now is a very simple thing. It could be Boko Haram, I doubt it. It's likely not them, but one thing remains. It did happen and it was avoidable.
Let's bring in Hajia Umar Getso on this because you're a politician. What, in your view, do you think can be done, especially by the political class, that should have been done to prevent situations like this from happening and even degenerating further?
Good morning, Mr. Gimba. Thank you very much for having me. What's happened in Kagara and what we saw happening in Kankara some months back has become a kind of habit in this country. And if you look at the nature of the schools, how dilapidated they are, it's of no surprise anybody, I think even 10 groups of men can go there and pick whosoever they want to pick. Because in the first place, our schools are not secured. They are not even looking like schools. 2 days ago, when I saw the picture of that school going around, I became very, very ashamed of even calling myself as a Nigeria in the international world. How can you call that place even a school? The major problem of what we are seeing today in Nigeria, we have to just go back by the root. This is all as a result of bad governance. The elites live in clean houses. We send our children to the best schools. We live in secured estates and houses with a lot of securities around. And we expect these people that are living in the bushes to eat whatsoever. They don't have good water. They don't have good education. Nobody is there to even ask them how they are living. And what gave birth to Boko Haram, as I used to say it, is as a result of Almajiranchi and as in the government not being fully involved in how to even set the citizens right. And that is exactly what has given birth to these hardest men coming out of their bushes to face us. Because we all go to our villages, we saw how they are living, we know the nature of, as in they don't have roads, they have no social amenities. And I've long been saying it, there's a kind of hatred that's already been created between the poor and the rich in this country. And whenever you feel like they are very inhuman or they don't know what it means to taste life, now they are out to get everybody, and nobody is safe. This whole abduction in schools and everything, as the previous speaker said, it's coming even close to Abuja. As I'm telling you, if the government did not do anything about it, this thing will enter our own individual houses. Imagine the guys that took over after the NSAS of a thing. We know they are not the NSAS guys, but the guys that started as in attacking houses, as in attacking politicians, that is exactly the result of people that you're supposed to take care of and you're not doing the right thing. And when we talk
But
of
are you satisfied? Are you satisfied though that a crack team has been, sent out there to rescue the kids? Are you satisfied with that action by the government?
it's not even an action. I saw about Gumi doing other things, trying to negotiate with those people in the bushes. Gumi have started, and the governor said, I even saw some delegations from the government side going with Dr. Gumi. How are you expecting somebody that's not even a security person to even do your own job? And as we all know, every attack in this country, the attacks are being carried out, and nobody is seeing them as even something, because these attacks are just as a result of carelessness. If the people that are going there, I'm very, very sure before they even reach the decks or their own target, definitely there's always used to be a call, even in the Northeast. that these guys are coming. But the government always decide to be crazy, as in careless, and our security personnel, I don't know whether they are not being well informed, or they are not always as alert, or is it just that we don't have them in numbers? Are they not enough to even look at each and every corner of Nigeria to secure us? So there's definitely a problem of leadership, because in a well-secured country, such kind of things are not supposed to be happening and be left just untreated. It's very, very not okay. And I don't even think the government is doing enough, because this thing has been happening and happening and happening. How can it just be a kind of habit?
Captain, uh, this really is disturbing a lot of people, and you hear comments, especially on social media, on Twitter, saying that the government is looking at ways to secure the release of these children and their teachers using, negotiations with the terrorist organizations. Do you think that these bandits or terrorists or insurgents, whatever names they have been chosen to call, do you think negotiating with them is a step in the right direction?
Yes and no, Sule. Gimba. And I will tell you why. You see, we can continue negotiating and negotiating and negotiating. And for these bandits, it becomes an ATM machine kind of relationship. When they are broke, they pick people. And then our overrated leaders, we overrate them because honestly speaking, these guys, as far as leadership and governance is concerned, they are impostors. This is the real test of leadership we're seeing in this country. And we have impostors there, people who dress well, they smell well, but they don't really know anything. Because you can see that bandits and riffraffs in the bushes are even more intelligent than security chieftains. And when people like me speak, they think I'm a troublemaker. But there is more trouble waiting for them until they listen. And now the second answer, the no answer, the no aspect, because I said yes and no, is simple. Even when you negotiate with people, a certain American president said it, I can't recall his name, either Reagan or Bush, one of the two. He said, even when you negotiate, you speak with a small voice, but you hold a big stick. Now, what he wants to tell you is this. Among the bandits in the bushes, they have no respect for governors or professors or billionaires. In their world, it's about brute force and fear. If you doubt it, go read about the mafians. MC Oluomo is head of that people, not because he has degrees, it's because they don't mess with him here in Lagos. It's about brute force and fear. And until you put the fear of God in these bandits, when you call them to the negotiation table, you cannot really negotiate from a position of strength. We have men as leaders who know all the good things money can buy, but they lack the will, the decision, and the drive to hold and build this cart we're seeing. And until they do, believe you me, one day these bandits will take a sitting governor. It happened to Ngige when he was somewhere in the southeast then. It's going to happen in the north until we have these jokers.
But something dramatic has happened over the past 2 weeks. If you let me just butt in, because the president agreed to the resignation of the service chiefs, and then new service chiefs came on board. Aren't you confident that the narrative will now change for the better for our country?
I'm happy you called it dramatic. Dramatic is derivative word from the word drama. Our politicians are masters of the art of drama. It's not about ceremonies, Umar. If you like, bring the CIA. If you don't have a roadmap, if you don't have a direction, if you do not plug in all those holes, all the service chiefs will fail. The governor sits in a state, he has a Ministry of Education. You see that kind of contraption as a school. 100 chiefs of army staff cannot do anything for you if you have the mindset of my governor. And that's pretty much what you see when it comes to politics in Nigeria. They are storytellers. There are so many loopholes. How many loopholes will your service chiefs block? Do service chiefs now deploy brigades to every kindergarten in the state and still take care of the ungoverned spaces and still take care of the highways? I mean, let's be intelligent here, Nigerian politicians. Let's be intelligent. They only know how to fight clannish and ethnic wars. Rather than look at the act, they look at the ethnic. Come on, these guys are jokers.
Okay, we have Aisha Hajia Umma Getso. She's the politician. I'm sure you've heard what Captain has said, that the politicians should up their game and try to resolve these issues once and for all. Do you think there is a political coloration to these abductions that have happened both in Kagara and in Kankara? Are there political interfaces in them, do you think?
Well, the main thing lack there is sincerity of purpose. I could remember during the Kankara abduction, the government denied giving a penny to these guys. We had some news, we even had a government, somebody within the very in the center of the government, bringing out the discussion going around that they were given 30 million. So if at all a government can negotiate even through just anybody given 30 million, I see no reason why these bandits will not come back again to do what they have been doing. So they have made it a kind of, to them, they know nothing. These guys are not educated. They never know what is the taste of life. To them, these monies are just coming to them as a kind of free thing. And this is not a small money we're talking about. So I'm very sure maybe now if the Niger state government will go through that way by negotiating, giving them money, I'm very sure another group will go arise because they are recruiting small boys. So this thing, I may say, we lack sincerity of purpose, as I said earlier, because our leaders are not even ready to lead. We don't even know the purpose by which we are coming out to be elected, because election in Nigeria is about somebody putting you up there. You're just paraded into the ceremonial way. You're just a governor. But deep down, our leaders, they don't even know why they are out to even rule us. They have no plans. That's exactly what is happening to this government. For all these years, Barry is busy shouting that he's out, he wants to be the president of Nigeria, but very, very unfortunate when we saw him there, not even knowing what is even the real problem of Nigeria. The things I expect our government to be tackling today is minor things. That are the things that are bothering us. Number one is, let me give you a typical example. When you say you're going to VIO or road safety to collect your own driver's license, that very institution should make sure that you can drive. There should be a body to monitor you, to know you can drive, so that if they meet you on the road, they can rightly harass you that did you know how to drive? Where's your ID card? But nobody does that. Nigeria is all about giving money. It's just about whether you know how to drive. You're sick, you don't have a leg, whatever it is, you can just retrieve your own driver's license. So this is the kind of country we are today in Nigeria. And that's what is giving birth to such kind of thing. We don't know what it takes as in to be a leader. We don't know the relationship between you, a ruler or a leader, and your own citizens. So this whole thing happening about the banditry is all one problem. We need the leaders that truly understand what is even the problem of this country, what are the ways to solve them. Security is not even the main issue now. It's because each and every sector is not.
Do you support the role of negotiations by Sheikh Gumi?
Because I said, the first speaker rightly said, you cannot just negotiate with mouth. These people, okay, after the negotiations.
No. Do you support it? Do you support that the government should negotiate?
I don't. Because a strong nation like Nigeria shouldn't get engaged only in giving such kind of money. Why are they stronger today? It's because those money are given to them. Even Boko Haram, what makes Boko Haram stronger is because of the initial negotiation that has been taking place. If at all we're not ready to do this whole thing, whosoever is not ready to, please should go back home and allow the people that can do this whole thing. Because this is not a joke. And as I'm telling you, if Nigeria continue in the next coming 2 years like this, there will be no Nigeria again. Because these guys are out, they're very, very strong. They have a lot of money with them, and they're still collecting money from individuals, from the government.
Captain, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. As I was saying,
What would you say is the way forward?
the way forward, as I have always said, is results. Results, not verbiages, not grandstanding. We have results that must be attained within certain timelines, not stories, not excuses. Nobody became a governor at gunpoint. You took to be governor, and there were deliverables the people are expecting. You either deliver it or you don't deliver it. If those on your team cannot deliver it, then look for those who can deliver it. The monies keep getting spent, but nothing gets done. Across board in this country, it's about results, not stories. If we want to move forward and we harp on results, then you begin to see people sit up and give these clowns we call insurgents and terrorists a run for their money. Not this, they ask for money, we give them. For how long can we continue to sustain that?
That's a good place to let it rest. I most sincerely thank you, Captain Aliyu Umar, retired security specialist, as well as Hajia Umma Getso, the vice presidential candidate, Young Progressive Party, the YPP, in the 2019 presidential elections. I must thank both of you so much for joining us on Control TV News Global.